Well, hello everybody. Jeff Cowan here, and I'm back here today to address another concern we have at car dealerships that have service departments. And it's this concern. I get asked this all the time. Jeff, why do people stop going to service centers at car dealerships? Why do our customers not come back? They come in once or twice, and maybe a few times more, and then they just disappear. Why don't they come back? Why don't they come in the first place? Well, I think it's a viable thing to think about because it's something you should be thinking about, because the idea when you run a business is to get as many people in the door and then not only get them in the door the first time, but forever. So the one thing, before I get into what I think is driving them away, let me tell you one thing I know that is not driving them away, and that's price. Most people think at their dealerships, the service departments, it's the pricing that's the problem. We're the ones that think that, your customers don't, because I can tell you this, price doesn't matter. Price doesn't matter, price doesn't matter, price doesn't matter, price doesn't matter, price doesn't matter. It's not matter, it doesn't matter today, it didn't matter 50 years ago, and it's probably not going to matter for the next 50 years. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. People think it does, so what do? They do the wrong thing. They start discounting their prices. When you offer cheap prices, what do you get in return? What do cheap people buy? Nothing. It's not the way to go because it's not price. I get called out on this all the time. Jeff, what do you mean it's not price? If you came to my service drive this morning and stood out there with me, I'll bet you $100. I get that objection 15 times today. And you know what? I always take that bet. I always win it. And I always take the $100 and go blow it on something stupid because price doesn't matter. I know that. Think about it. What's one thing that happens every single day you show up to work? You show up before you open. How many people are in line before you open up the doors waiting to get in? 4, 5, 6, 7. I've been to places where 10 to 15 is the common number, 25 is the number, 50 is the number. And let's say it is only 10 or 15 people or 5 or 6 people. They're waiting outside the door to get in to give you money. Do you know how unique that is? And then once you open up the doors, how many more people come across that service drive throughout the day? Now let me ask you a question. If you yourself were out looking for a brand new product or service and the first 2 or 3 places you drove by had a reputation of overcharging, gouging their customers, would you stop? Neither will your customers. Your customers come to you because they see great value. I just made this major investment in this vehicle. It's the second biggest investment I'm likely to make in my life. I love this car. I want to get maximum results from it. I need it to last a long time. So I'm going to come back to you because you're the franchise dealer. I know you have factory trained technicians that were trained by the manufacturer that originally built the vehicle. They're literally experts. They're using factory design and engineered parts that are perfect fit. And your service advisors are schooled in working with cars like this every day. You at the dealership will see more cars like mine in the same condition mine is in a single day than the competition will in the next 30 days combined. I'm coming to you because you're the best and I want the best for my vehicle. Price has very little to do with it, so I would counsel you to please don't drop the price. Matter of fact, if I was in a place and I had this assignment of setting up the fee structure, here's how I would do it. I'd set my dealership on a map, my service department, I'd draw a 50-mile circle around it, and I'd get the average pricing for every aftermarket place, every independent, every chain store, and every other dealership in the area. And once I had the average pricing for the area, I'd increase it by 10 to 20%, and that would be my fee structure. Why? Because they'll pay it. If you can handle them correctly, they will pay it. Okay? If you can prove value, they will pay it. Okay? They may expect you to be be more because they feel like they're getting more. And let me just add one more thing in here while I'm harping on about price. I work both with automotive dealerships and the aftermarket places. And typically what I find is the aftermarket places have higher ticket RO averages as far as dollars sold, and they typically are somewhere between 5 and 10% more than prices at a car dealership. It's a fallacy, so don't go down that road. So going back to why do they stop coming in? I think the reason people don't come in back to your dealership is because the advisors aren't in control of the customer. You've never trained them how to handle these customers, so the customer just comes in and railroads them, and in the process ends up not getting what they need. The advisors don't know how to handle and control your customers. I think they stop coming back in because your advisors not knowing how to handle customers, they don't know how to set up realistic expectations. They're afraid to tell the customer what exactly is going to happen and why. Instead, they have the customer come in. The customer says, "I need this back by the end of the day. I'll get it done. I'll do my best." And they know when they're standing there saying that, the advisor, they know they can't get it done today, but they say that to the customer because you've never trained them what to say. Because what they should say is, "I'm in control and here's how this is going to roll today." And they set the expectations. Managers and owners think about it. Whenever you get somebody complain about service, doesn't it usually start off something like this? "Well, I'm calling today because I'm upset because nobody told me So when they say nobody told me, what are they saying? Nobody set the realistic expectation. They didn't tell me what to expect, so I came in with my own expectations based on what I had happen at another place, or what my neighbor said should happen, or what in my mind I've concocted should happen, and it didn't happen, so now I'm mad. So how do you get them off of that? You set the expectation. Another reason, and this is a big one, I believe customers stop coming back to you, is because you don't get them what they need. You don't get them what they need. We walk around the vehicle and we see different things that the vehicle needs, but we don't point them out for fear of looking too pushy, for fear of charging them too much money. Maybe we think they don't have the money. We don't give them what they need because after it goes into the shop and we get the diagnosis back and we take a look at it and there's several things on there and it's a lot of money and boy, they'll never pay that. You know, they don't have that kind of money. That's too much money, and so we don't present everything. So if we don't present it, the customer don't know they need it. They don't know they need it, they don't buy it. So then what they come and you pick up their vehicle and they leave in a car that's not getting maximum performance because it doesn't have everything it needs. They leave and they say, well, wait a minute, you know, boy, when I came in here, I Googled you before I got here and it said I needed this, this, and this, and you never brought it up. So do you really know what you're talking about? So when you come in, they're expecting, again, I've harped on this and harp on it. Customers research today. They research online. Here's the kind of car I have. Here's the model year it is. Here's what it's doing. And here's the miles on it. So what is it I need? And when they ask that question, it's usually answered by a factory-trained technician. So they come in already knowing what they need, have a pretty good idea how long it's going to take and what it's going to cost. And when you don't offer it, you just look like you don't care or you don't understand your job, and they don't come back. They don't see you as a professional. So if you're having that concern, your customer's not coming back, it's right there in what I said. Don't worry about price. Don't even let that enter into the conversation. It's not price. Train your advisors. Train them to take control. Train them how to talk to the customers. Train them how to set realistic expectations and put the customer on the path to, and themselves on success. And make sure you point out everything. I don't care if a customer comes in and they need $15,000 worth of work. You point it out to them. Those are things that are driving your customers away, and until you address those, you can buy all the software programs in the world, you can buy all the technology in the world, you can hire as many staff members as you like, you can extend your hours, you can drop your prices, you can do whatever you want. But unless you address those things right there, you're going to continue to lose customers. Now, if you want more help from us, all you have to do is dial 1-800-248-2931, 1-800-248-2931, and anybody that picks up that phone can answer any question you have. We won't even charge you for that. You can call and ask for me, and I'll talk to you and answer any question you have. When you call in, though, don't be surprised if we don't tell you about our in-store training, our virtual training, or the different books I have. I've got a book here called A Pocket Guide with 90 different ways to ask for money and handle objections. Right service, write your own paycheck. That's a template to how you do it the right way. It'll answer all those things we just talked about. It will actually build your customer retention. You do what I tell you to do in this book, and within 18 months, you'll have over 85% customer retention, probably even sooner than that. And then you can also get this book. I just put it out called The Forgotten Rules of Professional Salesmanship. But for right now, I hope I addressed your concern. My name is Jeff Cowan. I enjoy giving you this information. And so until I see you next time, I'm going to ask you, please make this a great day, make it a great week, make it a great month, because as soon as I get to recording this, that's exactly what I'm going to do. God bless you all, and we'll see you soon.